All right, so get this. You send over these articles about quantum computing jobs. The whole quantum tech sector, even Amazon Web Services is in the mix. It's like you're prepping for a quantum career or something.
Sounds like you're ready to cut through all the hype and figure out what the real career opportunities are with this whole quantum thing.
Exactly. But before we jump into all of that, let's take a step back. Quantum computing, it's not just about speed, is it?
Not even close.
Yeah.
It's a completely different way of thinking about computation. Instead of bits, like a light switch, either on or off, quantum computing uses these things called qubits.
Okay, so unpack this whole qubit thing for me.
Imagine a qubit, like a musical chord. It can hold multiple notes, or in this case, values, all at the same time. That's what we call superposition, being in multiple states at once. But here's where it gets really wild in entanglement. It's like having two of those cores miles apart, but they're always in sync, like harmonizing perfectly.
Yeah.
You change one, the other changes instantly in a way we can actually predict.
Whoa, okay. Now that is pretty wild. I'm starting to see why people are saying this tech is going to be revolutionary.
It's not just hype, though. Think about it. Faster drug discoveries, AI that's more powerful than we can imagine unbreakable encryption. One of the articles at SciTech Gen 1 even mentioned quantum phones that could transmit touch and smell.
Wait, hold on. You're telling me I could send someone the smell of like fresh baked bread through my phone? That's next level. Okay, but let's bring it back down to earth for a sec. Do I need to be like a quantum physics genius to even think about a career in this field?
That's actually a pretty common misconception. And, the materials you sent, they actually highlight a really diverse range of quantum careers. Yeah, some roles need a PhD, but a lot of them are open to people from all sorts of backgrounds.
So you're saying you don't need to be Einstein to work in quantum? Okay, this is getting interesting. Tell me more.
It's about having the right skills, not just a specific degree. Programming is definitely key. And you included some stuff on quantum machine learning, which basically combines the power of quantum computing with data analysis. It's a booming field with its own unique skills and challenges.
So coders, engineers, data scientists. What about people who are really great communicators or really good at working together to solve problems? Is there a place for them in this world?
Absolutely. That article from the Quantum Insider actually really stressed how important communication and collaboration are, even in a field that's as technical as this one. You need to be able to explain these complex ideas clearly, and you gotta be able to work well in a team if you want to succeed.
That makes a lot of sense. Having a groundbreaking quantum algorithm is useless if you can't explain it to anyone, right?
Exactly. A strong technical foundation is definitely key, but don't underestimate those core interpersonal skills.
This is fascinating. We've barely even scratched the surface. And I'm already seeing all these doors opening that a little quantum knowledge could unlock. It's like this whole new language is developing, and honestly, I want to be fluent.
That's the spirit. Let's dive into some specific job titles. You might be surprised by the range of opportunities out there.
All right, let's talk quantum careers.
Yeah.
I'm ready to hear about these jobs that are popping up everywhere.
Oh, the demand is definitely there. And it's not just research labs anymore. Companies across all kinds of industries are realizing just how powerful quantum computing could be, and they're looking for skilled people.
So where do we even start? What are some of those in-demand quantum jobs?
Let's start with one you highlighted in what you sent over, quantum software engineer. They're kind of like the architects building that bridge between the computing we know and this whole quantum world.
It sounds like they need to be fluent in both languages then, like the language of computers as we know them, and then the language of qubits and entanglement.
Exactly. It's a really demanding role that needs this unique skill set. They need to understand quantum algorithms and all the principles, but also be experts in software engineering and programming languages.
So they're not just writing code. They're taking these super complex quantum ideas and turning them into something a machine can actually understand.
And not just any machine. A machine that works in a completely different way from the computers we use every single day. It's about creating the tools and the frameworks that are going to shape the future of how we use information.
That's incredible. Talk about being in the forefront of innovation.
Yeah.
Another job that caught my eye, quantum cryogenic engineer. What do they do?
Remember how we talked about qubits being really sensitive to their environment? Well, these engineers are like the guardians of that environment. They make sure that those really sensitive qubits stay cold and stable enough to actually do their thing.
We're talking really cold, right? Like Colder than outer space, cold.
You got it. A lot of quantum computers, especially the ones using those superconducting qubits, they have to be kept at extremely low temperatures, like just a tiny fraction of a degree above absolute zero.
Wow, that is mind-boggling. So a quantum cryogenic engineer, they're like the masters of chill,
Yeah.
making sure that quantum computer stays happy.
Exactly. They're experts in cryogenics and thermodynamics, making sure the quantum computer's environment is totally perfect, so no disturbances to mess with those delicate quantum states.
Okay, this next one sounds super intriguing. Qubit researcher. It's giving me some serious mad scientist vibes.
That's the one for the people who want to be right there pushing the limits of what's possible with quantum computing at the most basic level, the qubits themselves.
So they're designing and building these powerful qubits, the architects of the quantum world.
They're more like explorers, always looking for new materials, refining designs, experimenting with different ways to make qubits even better and more stable. They're searching for that holy grail of quantum computing, a qubit that's both super powerful and doesn't break down all the time.
That sounds like a role for someone who really, really loves quantum. The ones who dream in superposition and entanglement. What kind of background do you need for something like that?
You need a really strong background in physics. We're talking advanced degrees here. PhDs are pretty standard. They need to understand quantum mechanics, condensed matter physics, and sometimes even more specialized stuff like material science or nanotechnology.
It's crazy to think that these researchers are building the future one tiny qubit at a time.
Yeah.
And their work could seriously change the world.
And it's not just researchers and engineers, remember. You sent over some articles on quantum machine learning. That's where the power of quantum computing meets data science and creates a whole new set of possibilities.
Quantum machine learning sounds like a match made in tech heaven, or at least in a very, very advanced lab. But what's the big deal about this area?
Imagine trying to solve huge problems in medicine, finance, materials, science, but with a totally new level of computing power. That's what we're talking about. Quantum machine learning algorithms can analyze massive amounts of data, see patterns, make predictions with an accuracy and speed that's impossible with regular computers.
So we're talking about developing life-saving drugs way faster, building super accurate financial models, designing materials that have properties we haven't even dreamed of yet.
You got it. And honestly, that's just the tip of the iceberg. This field is so new, which means there's huge potential for new discoveries and innovations.
It's exciting and overwhelming at the same time. With so many different careers popping up, it's hard to even know where to start.
I get it. The quantum world is huge and it's always changing. But instead of being overwhelmed, how about we try to understand what's driving all this growth and how you can actually find your place in this new world?
Okay, I'm all ears. Let's talk about the quantum job market. What's the demand really like for these kinds of skills? Is it just hype, or is there a real opportunity here? So we've gone through all these incredible careers in quantum computing, but you're right, it is a lot to process. What's the market looking like for this kind of expertise?
It's definitely heating up, just like the excitement around the tech itself. That SciTech Gen article you shared, it actually predicts the whole quantum technology sector could be worth over $1 billion by next year.
$1 billion.
Oh.
Hey, now you've got my attention. But what does that actually mean in terms of jobs? What should someone interested in this field be looking out for?
It means companies are putting serious money into research and development, and that always means a need for skilled professionals. We're seeing it everywhere. Big tech companies like AWS startups you've probably never even heard of. Even government agencies are getting involved.
So it's not just about those hardcore tech roles anymore. It seems like there's this ripple effect as quantum computing starts impacting other industries.
Exactly. Think about it. As quantum computing starts to change things in medicine, finance, materials, science, you need people who get the tech A&D, the ins and outs of those specific industries.
Yeah.
That's where having that specialized knowledge becomes really valuable.
So someone with a background in, let's say, pharmaceuticals, but who also understands the basics of quantum computing, they'd be in a really good spot.
Absolutely. That kind of cross-disciplinary knowledge is going to be so important. And it's not just about technical skills either. Think about it. You need people who can communicate, manage teams to get a quantum product out there, explain it to investors, figure out the ethical side of this really powerful technology. There's a whole ecosystem growing around this.
This is really amazing. It's like we're watching a whole new industry being born right in front of us. But let's bring it back down to earth for a second.
Yeah.
For someone listening right now who's thinking, okay, this is cool, but where do I even start? What advice would you give them?
First things first, don't freak out. Yes, quantum computing is complex, but everybody has to start somewhere. There are so many resources out there for anyone who wants to learn no matter what their background is. You mentioned online learning platforms, and I totally agree. There are some seriously good courses that break down these ideas into bite-sized
And
pieces.
those are perfect for people like me who like to learn at their own pace in my pajamas without someone standing over me.
For sure. And don't underestimate the power of a good old-fashioned book. SciTech Jen mentioned Dancing with Qubits by Bob Souter. It's a really good place to start if you want to get the basics.
Adding it to the list. But what about the hands-on learners out there? Is there a way to actually get some experience with quantum computing without, building a lab in their basement?
You're in luck. Remember that article about AWS? They have this service called Amazon Bracket, and it basically gives you access to real quantum computers through the cloud.
Wait, are you serious? I can just log on and mess around with a quantum computer?
Well, it's not quite as easy as ordering takeout, but it's pretty close. Amazon Bracket gives researchers and developers a way to try out different types of quantum computers, run algorithms, experiment. It's really changed the game in terms of accessibility.
That's incredible. It feels like the future is here and it's closer than we think. What about connecting with other people in this field?
Huge. Getting involved with the quantum community is so valuable. Follow those quantum influencers from that SciTech Gen article on social media. Join some online forums, go to webinars.
It's about tapping into all that energy and learning from what everyone else is doing.
Exactly. And never be afraid to ask questions, even the ones that seem kind of silly. Curiosity is what drives new discoveries.
I love that. So to wrap things up, we've got online courses, books, we can even try out real quantum computers. And it's all right there at our fingertips. There's a whole world of opportunity waiting for anyone who wants to explore it.
And remember, it's a journey. Quantum computing is always changing, so just enjoy learning along the way. Stay curious, explore the possibilities, and who knows? Maybe one day you'll be the one inspiring the next generation of quantum experts?
What an incredible thought. And it's not just about the tech itself. It's about what we can do with it, solving some of the biggest problems we face.
And it all starts with being curious and wanting to explore the unknown.
And there you have it, a deep dive into the world of quantum computing. From the mind-blowing science to all the incredible career opportunities it's creating. We hope you found it as fascinating as we did. Until next time, keep asking those questions, keep learning, and keep diving deep.